Well, everybody out there in Atlanta, this is Chris from HHN.com with another exciting episode. So I was like, we are back at Universal Orlando Resort today. I had to come out. The weather is just so nice out here. And, you know, we live in Florida. We are quickly approaching the dark times, the humid, hot, stormy weather that comes with Florida summer. Last week when we were here, it was very hot. It was in the 90s. Today, we got low humidity. It is in the 80s. It's going down into the 50s later on tonight, but we're going to go ahead and walk around, talk a little bit more about Halloween Horror Nights 31 and some of the craziness that may or may not be happening with some of the house locations this year. There is a lot of chatter on the internet about said things, so let's not waste any more time. Let's have some fun. Here's today's look. Down Production Central. Despicable Me is at a 75-minute wait. It is a very crowded Monday spring break day here at Universal Studios, Florida. There's more crowd than we were here last week, so spring break obviously is in full swing. I think we're nearing the end of spring break, but still very, very crowded. Out here waiting for the Superstar Parade to pass. Just a quick glimpse at that blue sky. Like I said, it's a very nice day out here. Anxieties aside, I had to enjoy the weather. It's so nice out here. It's about to get horrifically hot here in Florida. So this is probably one of the last hurrahs for weather out here. Just a very nice day. So here we are, right outside the most talked about location right now for Halloween Horror Nights 31. You can see the tent right there. Tent's poking out over that wooden fence there. Fast and Furious is currently down, so they're not letting people in line, so I cannot go in line and show you anything that's going on in there at the moment. But like we pointed out last time, we do have the tent right there. You go in line right through there. There's a little gate, like right there, that you can peer through, and there was stuff on the floor and whatnot. And hello. Hi. So yeah, so there's a tent there, then there's another tent there, and then inside we saw them cordoning off some of the line there. But of course we cannot go in because the ride is broken. So Fast and Furious, not good. So we're going to talk a little bit more about this location, Men in Black location, and stuff in a moment. So really quickly, we are over by the Fear Factor Live stage. I wanted to address some things, give some of my knowledge. I mean, I don't consider myself knowledgeable, but I do you know, have some insight into some things. I wanted to talk a little bit about the chaos that is the house situation this year, because there is quite a bit of chaos. There's a lot of chatter and stuff and things that people saying online, and speculation and so on and so forth. I'm going to try to get through this without sort of showing my cards, as it were. So everything that I talk about from here on forward is going to be purely based on situations, you know, potential situations that could or could not occur. So we do, of course, know that there will be at least one house over in the Fast and Furious queue. The first time the Fast and Furious queue, of course, has been used for a house. It is what it is. We have had houses in that area in the past because of you know, disaster and earthquake and stuff like that, but it's the first time that we've actually had something in the Fast and the Furious queue. The reason being is because this year we were potentially going to be losing 2 house locations. We do know that at least 1 house location is gone because of the construction going on over there in the former Shrek building. For whatever they're putting in there. I've joked in the past about you know, trying to figure out what they're putting in there. It's obvious what they're putting in there, but for all intents and purposes, where there will not be a house over there in the Shrek area. The other thing driving all this this chaos and confusion right now is the Fear Factor Live stage, because we kind of do know that the Fear Factor Live stage was supposed to be demoed, and the demolition was supposed to spill over into where the Men in Black tent usually goes, which is right next door. But also we kind of do know that that is not going to occur, at least not right now. So they were looking for other locations to put houses, and for whatever reason everybody you know, whether it's insider knowledge or whatever, everybody was sort of putting all their chips over there in the Fast and the Furious queue. I still have my doubts about that because I have my own reasons, which we'll get to in a little bit, but it is what it is. So let's talk some scenarios here. So like I said, we do know that we would potentially be losing 2 house locations, and they needed to figure out 2 other spots to put a house, right? So let's say for all intents and purposes they decided to put 2 houses over in the Fast and the Furious queue, you know, squeeze 2 houses in there because they didn't have or didn't have any other options at the time. But now that the Fear Factor Live stage is not coming down, let's say that they decided, you know, we're not going to cram 2 houses back there anymore because it's just too tight, and we can do more back in the Men in Black tent. They can, for all you know, for totally conceivable that they can pull one of the houses that they did have planned over in the Fast and Furious queue back over in the Men in Black tent. Now the question that some people have is that, is it too late to put up the Men in Black tent? No, the Men in Black tent is a tent that I feel like I have to say this every year. It comes up and it comes down every year since its inception, which first used, of course, back in 2016 for You Won't Stand a Chance, with the exception being Halloween Horror Nights 30, because they just kept up all the houses from the event that would be 2020. They just reused everything, with the exception, of course, of 1 house. Everything was just kind of kept up. So, but that tent comes up and comes down every year. It is entirely possible that they could, you know, put it into the Men in Black tent. The latest that the tent has gone up before in the past is late May, so they still have plenty of time to go ahead and put up the Men in Black tent if they so choose. Now I can see them being a little bit hesitant on doing something like that because creative is very notorious for doing things last minute. Of course, that has affected Halloween Horror Nights in the past. Halloween Horror Nights 2012. South Stage 44, the Hurricane building, of course, they were building a house in that location, and then Universal Creative came in hastily and said, you got to get out, we're demolishing the building, and, you know, 12 months later Transformers The Ride was there. So you know, I could see them being a little bit hesitant on doing that if that was the case. Like I said, I'm still a little hesitant on them actually doing 2 houses in the Fast and Furious queue. It just seems like it'd be too tight. The whole logistics of them trying to line people up for 2 houses back there seems a little chaotic in my mind, but you know, that's just me kind of spitballing on certain things. You know, of course the easier option, if they were to try to do something instead of doing 2 houses in that area in the Fast and Furious queue, is of course to split up a soundstage and or split up one of the 2 parade buildings. Of course, there's a couple of problems with that. The new parade building, of course, is a huge structure. It's very large, but it's also, you know, with just 1 house back there, it's already a very long walk to get back there. So that's number 1. Number 2, you know, I don't know exactly what else they're storing in there currently that could impede them from doing something like that. And that goes for the old parade building as well. Same thing for the sound stages. You could conceivably split up another sound stage and or use an empty sound stage, but I don't know the schedules currently of what could or could not be going on up there. And yes, you would have, you know, another house up in the soundstage area. But for me, I just kind of consider that, well, Shrek was there too. I mean, Shrek, it wasn't exactly part of a soundstage, but it was up front, so you would just have, you know, the same amount of houses up front, just, you know, not in the Shrek area, but in a soundstage. So it is what it is. But anyway, so that's something I just wanted to talk a little bit about, some of the chaos situations that could be going on right now. I think some people need to breathe and sort of wait it out. But, you know, for all intents and purposes, it is not too late for them to actually put up Men in Black tent. They still have a little bit of time. If there's nothing up there or nothing confirmed by, say, late May, then you know, you can sort of, you know, deduce at that point that there's not going to be a house over by the Men in Black in the old Men in Black tent at that point. You know, then the speculation would begin about where this other house is. Is it 2 houses in Fast and Furious, or are they splitting a soundstage, or are they splitting one of the parade buildings? Time will tell. Just another look. This is such a nice day. And here's the wellness check, of course, same as last week, nothing currently over in that spot. So like I said last week, read into that with what you will. Still have those construction walls up over in Kids Zone. Go around the people here. It's very, very crowded here today. But still the construction walls. Still a lot of these scarecrows from Scarecrow stock available. All of them are about 1,200 bucks. This one's very disturbing. At the tent for what is gone. So Fast and Furious is a 45-minute wait, so I'm not going to wait 45 minutes. But something that I did want to point out in terms of the quote-unquote tents that are back here. So there's this tent right here, and then there's the other tent right there that you see right behind the fence there. So there are literally two tents that are squeezed up next to each other. Now, whether that's two houses or whether that's just they're just using the tent for more room, I happen to think that it's using the tent for more room. But so right here, there's a straighter point here, and then there's right there, so there's two tents. There's one there and there's one there. So take that with what you will, guys. So you have just a quick trip out here to Universal Studios Florida. Rip by Rocket is back running again. It was broken a moment ago and there was nobody on it. Now there are riders aplenty over there on the ride. So I just wanted to point that out real quick because I think there's still a little bit of confusion on the tents that are back behind Fast and Furious. There are indeed two tents back there, but they're not like two tents that are separated. They're two tents that are pretty much stuck together. There's nothing separate about the two tents. So bear that in mind, keep that in mind. There are two tents back there, but not two totally separate tents. It looks like that they've sort of combined two tents into one and are using part of the Fast and Furious queue for either lineage or part of the house or whatever. So just so you guys know, food for thought. But anyway, that is going to do it for me out here today, guys. As usual, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.